Hey, I'm Dave Mirra. Welcome to my hometown, Greenville, North Carolina. I've been riding a bike pretty much all of my life. I've been pro for 10 years. It's a lot of fun, but it takes a lot of practice. First, we're going to go out in the parking lot and show you some flatland basics. Next, we're going to go into the skate park. We're going to work on the pyramid, the mini ramp, the grind rail, and lastly, the box jump. Remember, wear your safety gear and have a lot of fun. Welcome to Trick Tips Volume 1. Oh yeah, we need a bike. Let's go get a bike. Hey guys, we're here at the Bicycle Post to pick out our first bike, which can be really confusing for you kids and the parents out there. Some of the things you want to look at probably is price point. You get what you pay for. Obviously, the more you spend, the better the bike you're going to get. $300 is a great entry-level bike that's beautiful for every kid that wants to get on it and try and find out whether he really likes freestyle or not. This particular bike right here is a mid-level bike. This bike has chrome rims, which is the ultimate surface for braking. And this has a 3-piece crank, which is a lot more durable than a 1-piece. As you get better, you're probably going to want to upgrade into parts like these. There's trails bikes that are pegless, and that's racing and all those kind of bikes. This is a freestyle bike, and the reason why is the pegs for flatland and grinding tricks. This is a front brake for endos and other tricks like that, and a gyro, which enables you to spin the bars around without the brake cables getting tangled. That's an essential for freestyle. But one thing you want to do first off is size it up. Make sure that, you can stand over the top tube. Usually 6 and under is probably a 16-inch bike. I would advise that. If you can stand comfortably over the top tube, 20 inches is what I ride. I recommend the seat goes level with your knee for overall bike control and tricks such as bar spins. It's just really essential to lock your knees against the seat, spin the bars, and just gives you all the control you need. And that's what I do. With the handlebars, when sitting on the bike, I recommend the handlebars are parallel with the fork for a kid starting out. It's not too far forward or not too far back. I think that's pretty important for a happy medium there. Because handlebars that are too far forward are really hard to control. And obviously too far back, they're going to be in your lap. You're going to try to jump, you're going to lean forward. It's not going to happen. Once you size it up, just kind of get comfortable with the bike. This has hand brakes, no pedal brake. So just kind of ride it around, get to know your bike, and then you're ready to ride. First, we're going to go out in the parking lot and show you some of the basics of flatland, the building blocks of freestyle. First and most importantly is the bunny hop, which is a gateway trick to all tricks, like grinds, airs, 360s, you name it. Then we're going to take you to the 180 bunny hop, the 360 bunny hop, the bar spin on flat ground, and the manual, which is another very important trick. I'm joined here with Kip Williamson to help us through it.
That's right, Dave. We're going to show you exactly how to do some of the more basic flatland tricks that are going to help out your overall riding regardless of what type of riding you decide to do. We're going to show you the proper technique. It's definitely no substitute for the amount of practice that you're going to want to put in.
Exactly. I started out riding flatland and it's helped me out a lot. The first thing we're going to bring you through is the bunny hop. The bunny hop is basically getting air without a ramp.
A lot of tricks, especially the bunny hop, are going to feel somewhat uncomfortable, maybe even unnatural at times, but with a lot of practice you can become an expert at this trick.
Exactly. The more you do something, the better you get at it, the easier it feels. So let's go. Just remember, guys, roll along at a slow pace, keep your arms and legs bent, and your pedals level. That's very important, is keeping pedals level. As you're pulling up your front wheel, pop your back end up, push the bars forward, level out, and that's a bunny hop. Roll forward at a slow pace, arms and legs bent, pedals level, compress, lean back, pull forward. And just remember, to any trick really on a bike, keep your pedals level. That makes things a lot easier. But ride along at a slow speed. Pull up on your front wheel. As it gets higher, pop your back end up, push your bars forward, and level out and land down. That's basically how a bunny hop works. Good. Once you're doing bunny hops, I'd say around 6 inches high, you're probably ready to step up to the 180 bunny hop. You almost kind of want to thrust your hips, kind of pre-torque, spin off the ground as you're hopping. So it's really all about timing.
The 180 bunny hop is a little bit more difficult than the regular bunny hop for obvious reasons. You're going to land backwards, and we'll tell you how to do a rollback a little bit later in the tape. Right now we're just going to focus on the actual 180 part of the trick. And what you're going to do is you're going to preload your body by turning quickly to the left and almost like a swerving motion and picking up the back end of the bike and then cranking it to the right. So it's kind of one swift motion, almost like a snake. You're kind of slithering almost. A little bit of a tip for you is that myself, I pick up with my right foot, which is back. Our pedals are level, my right foot's back. So I'm going to actually turn to my right. So I'm going to throw the back end of the bike around behind me. And that's actually going to play a huge factor a little bit later on when we talk about mini ramp as well. It helps you to turn. If you do this properly, when you land backwards, it should actually send you in what we call a rollback. Rolling down backwards, or fakie, we call it.
Once you're mastered the 180 bunny hop, you're going to want to take it to the 360 bunny hop, which will help you in a lot of different moves when you're into the skate park. 360s over a box jump, 360s over a pyramid, which basically are a 360 bunny hop. Nice. What I usually do when I 360 bunny hop is I'll pre-torque, pop off the ground, create my spin by kind of spinning, kind of pre-torquing to where you turn your front tire enough, you pop off the ground, spin, I come around 270, pop my back end down, pivot the rest at a 90-degree angle, and roll away.
That's how to do a 360 bunny hop.
Well, the next trick we're going to show you is the bar spin. We'll start on the flat ground and then bring you into the skate park.
Bar spin is one of those tricks, if you put a little bit of time in, maybe in an hour or so, you're going to be able to pull this trick off. What we're going to start off by doing is we're going to roll forward on our pedals with both feet, just like we did with the bunny hop, somewhat at a slow to medium pace. What we're going to do is we're going to lean back, we're going to pinch the seat with our knees, and we're going to spin the handlebars. I spin it with my left hand and catch with my right. You might spin with your right hand, catch with your left. Either way, you're going to spin it with one hand, catch it with the palm of your hand, just like that, and ride away with both hands on the handle grips.
And remember, keep your pedals level at all times. Okay, roll up at a slow speed, pedals level, lean back, pinch the seat, spin the bars, hand to hand.
Roll through to slow to medium pace. We're going to pinch the seat with our knees, spin the bars, catch with both hands, and ride away.
Okay guys, well another way, now that you learned how to pinch the seat and do the bar spin on the flat ground, this is another way to take it to the ramps and get used to it before you're actually doing it on the ramp. Just kind of lean up. This is kind of Ryan Nyquist's technique. He told me about how he learned them. It was basically put his wheel against the fence and just throw them, spin them, and just get used to it, whether you're throwing them whatever way you want, doubles, just get used to it. But when you're riding a ramp, you're not necessarily looking at your handle grips. You're kind of looking through the bike, keeping the ramp in perspective and your handle grips. So you're really not focusing on anything. And that's the same with no footers, no handers, etc. What you want to do is just close your eyes and do it, look away, whatever you want, but just get used to it and know exactly, because a lot of it is by feel. It's hand-eye coordination. It's not that you're staring at it. It gets complicated, but you will learn that, and that just takes a little bit of imagination, focus, pads, having fun, and ripping. Roll, pedals level, lean back, pinch the seat, spin the bars, hand to hand, and catch it right away. Woo! Here we go. We're going to take it to your next trick. Before we go to the skate park, I promise it's the last one, and it's the manual, also known as a coasting wheelie.
The manual is one of those tricks, Dave, where you got to spend a lot of time on it, just like all these other flatland tricks. Let's talk about how we're going to do the manual.
And definitely the most technical thing about the manual is the feathering of the brake. If you're going to flip backwards, you want to tap your brake. If you're going to fall forward, you're just going to want to lean back and keep your hand off the brake. It gets technical, it takes a lot of practice, but when you get good at it, it's a lot of fun on the ramps, I guarantee you that.
Well, one of the ways that we're going to show you how to do the manual is basically some of the other elements that we used in the other tricks, and that's as far as rolling forward at a slow to medium pace. We're going to kind of be laid back away from the seat, kind of pinching the seat or around that area with our knees, and we're going to make sure that we stay flexible, make sure that we bend our knees when we pick up the front wheel of the bike.
Stay loose, remember, keep your pedals level. You can't do it with your pedals down, it's always got to be level. Lean over the back tire, pull your front wheel up, and remember, feather the brake.
Yeah, basically feathering the brakes is not locking the brake up totally. You just want to barely tap the brake, and that comes through time and riding and experience. So it's something that you want to get into right away with some of these building block tricks like the manual.
Remember, practice makes perfect. So let's go, let's do the manual. Now remember, with the manual, as you're leaning back over the back tire to pull up the front wheel, Just feather your brake. That's going to be it. When your front wheel goes down, you just want to lean back and stay off the brake. When you start flipping over backwards, you want to hit the brake real lightly, feather it, keep the front wheel up. Go as long as you can. When you can do 5 parking spots, you're getting good at the mountain. You're probably ready to move on to something else like hopping up curbs, manualing, jumping off the end of the next curb. Great parking lot trick. Pedals level, lean over the back tire, pull up the front wheel, and feather the brake. Basically what I used to do as a kid, I'd go out to a parking lot and try to go as many parking spaces as I could possibly go, and the farther you go, the better you're at it. When you get to the ramps, it's that much easier. So good luck, and let's go to the park. Okay guys, now we're in the skate park. Before we get started with the basics of jumping the pyramid, I'd like you to meet my friend Austin. What's going on, Austin?
What's up?
Cool. One of the most important parts when you're in the skate park is safety gear. And you can notice that Austin's wearing shin guards to protect his shins, knee pads, elbow pads, gloves, and most importantly, a full face helmet. And I recommend full face helmets for all beginners. So once you're geared up, let's get started. Okay, the thing about the pyramid, which makes it a lot more forgiving and a lot more fun to jump and easier to start with, is that it's a wedge-to-wedge ramp. Basically what it is you can roll up, jump on top, and roll down. The best way to start out is come up the edge and just kind of jump the small corner of it. Is probably the best way to start it, only for the fact that it takes less speed and it's less of a bunny hop. Yeah, Austin. Speed is really important here, and basically the faster you go, the harder you bunny hop, the higher you go on a wedge-to-wedge jump like the pyramid. You can start out going really slow, just get enough speed to make it up to the top, and roll over and ride down. For your first time, just get up top, roll over it, and roll down. Let's take you through the basic jump. Go about 2 or 3 good cranks, keep your pedals level, legs and arms bent, ride up it, roll over, jump it a little bit, and roll down. Yeah. We've rolled it a few times, we've gone halfway. Now we're going to clear it and show you how easy that is. Want to clear it? Okay. Go a little faster, jump it a little further until you're clearing. And this is where the bunny hop really comes into play. Speed is really important here, and basically the faster you go, the harder you bunny hop, the higher you go on a wedge-to-wedge jump like the pyramid. It's time to move on to something else, and bar spins is a perfect one to move on to next. We learned bar spins on the flat ground. Well, this is basically the same thing, only you're coming up a wedge, bar spin, roll down. Very simple, and once you get better at that, that's when you start jumping the whole thing. You're gonna roll up, pedals level, pinch your seat, bar spin, come across it. Yeah. When you're approaching the pyramid, you're gonna ride up and make sure your pedals are level. You can pinch your seat before you even get on the pyramid for the bar spin. Ride up, pinch your seat, pull up the front end like you would on flat ground, spin the bars, throw it with your right,